My name is Animatronic Speed. I am a small FNAF speed editor who makes FNAF edits and debate edits. I have been editing since 2018. I hope you like these edits that I've made. Thank you very much, Dan. I sure do. Now let's see what I can do. Every time I make a new model, I start with a cube and the holy trinity of modifiers: mirror, solidify, and subdivision surface. If you remember this list, and always delete the default cube just to replace it with another identical one, congratulations! You're halfway to becoming a 3D artist. Pretty much ready, so let's move on to the torso. And if you're worrying about the cheeks, don't worry, I'll add them right away. I think the arms are a little too long, but for now, I'll leave them as they are, and I'll change them later if necessary. These are the best toy legs I've ever made. Just look at them. Hello, little one. You don't seem as dynamic as the original. Now, let's give these boys some color. And after a few small changes, this is the final product. And Dan, be sure to check your emails, because you may have already received the model. I'm an aspiring animator and the creator of Shadowside, a planned animated series of mine that Cyanide was repurposed for, after I thought I could use her better outside of a FNAF OC sense. Thanks for your submission. I will do my best. Okay, I'm beginning to panic because it looks more like Unwithered Bonnie than a cat. Never mind. I solved it. The drawing connects the mouth to the mask, but I want to separate it because I'm basically creating it in a different style. I can show you what I mean. Here is a comparison between Freddy as an animatronic and Freddy as a cartoon character. I hope that makes sense. And you want to learn Blender from me? Yeah, sure. I have never made clothes before, so this will be interesting. It's not exactly great, but it doesn't look bad either. The legs are quite similar to those of the Glam Rocks, so I'm thinking to do them in the same way. For the gloves, I'll duplicate the hand and make it a little shorter. Heels? Damn, looks like Balloon Boy has some competition. I must admit, I was a little scared of this model because it has elements that I've never done before, like the clothes. But in the end, it turned out quite well. I hope you like it too, Ultraviolet. Now let's see the next one. The third submission is from Catgozer. Hi there, my name's Catgozer, and I'm a YouTuber like you. I make animations and art. Thank you so much, Catgozer, for your Blender submission. Now let's jump into Blender. I already made a cat head, so it should be easy the second time. Look how good the ears look. Wait, I didn't do them right. There we go. I can't believe I got stuck at a lip. Oh, that's the worst. You know what? I'll leave it for later. Did I just make pink? Michael Jackson is next. I promise. And here's your loving cat in her full glory. Thank you again for your submission, Catgozer.
My name is Onaru. I live in New Zealand. I'm 11 and I love FNAF. and your videos. Keep up the good work. You know, for an 11-year-old, this drawing looks very good. Thank you for your submission, and let's see what I can do. The last time I modeled a character was for the second game, about a month or so ago. A game which Taco actually played, by the way.
How do I call him to stage? Stage call there. Oh my god. Right, kill me! Oh, Freddy's in that. I've done it wrong. Wish me luck, Bonnie! Oh my god. Just like Chica's looking at herself. What the heck? Oh, that was a quick one! I knew straight away! I knew it! What is going on? Okay, you can stop now.
I still can't believe that happened. What I meant by that was, however, that I felt the break. I opened Blender and I was no longer sure of anything. Where do I start? The order of modifiers, the fact that I'm trying to make a rhinoceros and it looks more like a pig, then I really started to worry. But I said to myself, maybe if I put the horn on it, it will look right. And you know what? It didn't work. Now I have a punk pig.
Did I choose the right path? Maybe I'm not as good at 3D modeling as I thought. I disappointed Anaru. Oh, poor kid. I did exactly what Notch did when he created the pig, only in reverse.
And as my thoughts clouded my clarity, a soft voice could be heard saying, "You've only just begun, you idiot. Just keep going and trust the process." So I was right. I really did have to trust the process. I hope you like how it turned out, Anaru. Bit of a weird part, but I never know how to write these segments in the video, so I let myself be carried away. Oh, sorry. Let's see the next drawing. Hey, my name is Cody, and I've been a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's forever now. I've always enjoyed drawing, and I hope to see my FNAF character as a 3D model. Thanks, Cody. I reserved a spot for him from the moment I saw it. I can't wait to start. Now, he looks like the rat with a hat, who also missed every appointment to the dentist. But trust the process. The jacket might be a little bit complicated, but I think I can handle it. It's good that you know how to dress, because this will drag down your career. And the drawing, the fingers look okay, but now that I see him in 3D, I think I'll modify them a little bit later. And this is Mr. Mouse. Hope you like it, Cody. Remember when I said that Steamboat Willie as an animatronic looks terrifying? Yeah, I think Mr. Mouse would scare him easily. And I think both would scare me easily. Boo! And I think we would both scare him easily. Boo! Better luck next time. Oh man. Hey, at least we tried. Hello, this is Mr. Free. I'm mostly known as that one guy who likes to talk about FNAF. I used to draw people's OCs as animatronics, and that was cool. Also, sent a drawing of its endoskeleton. Thought it could help. From the moment I saw the drawing, I wanted to model it. But I was also a little bit scared. The guy is massive and 60% organic. Ugh, horrible. I should do a course on organic modeling soon. I complain way too much about it. Frank the Great, as Mr. Free calls him, turned out much better than I thought. I'm going to put a pair of sunglasses on him and make him my bodyguard.
Hey, where can I send my drawings?
Yeah, you deserve that.
I'm Kaio, and I'm from Brazil. I really like your videos, so I decided to send my fan-made animatronic. If you can't do it, that's okay, since I know there are a lot of other people who also want to participate. Well, I guess you got lucky for this one, Kaio. Let me see what I can do. Okay. Hear me out. What if I turn Ben into a Five Nights at Freddy's 2 animatronic? Yeah? Come on, tell me you see it too. No? Alright, I'll show you my genius. Starting with the head, the process went pretty smoothly. Ben doesn't have a very complicated head shape. Not saying that he's dumb or anything. He just has a really nice head. I mean, he's a beaver. He's far from dumb. He builds bridges. When was the last time you built a bridge, huh? And with your teeth. Yeah, not so tough now, are we, Jimmy? I know things tend to look a little off around here at first, so much so that it's basically part of, well, my trademark. But now that I've added the ears, tell me Ben doesn't look more like a mouse than a beaver. Is it just me? I mean, he didn't exactly scream beaver in the drawing either. But still, you know, I should probably ask Scott, he's the beaver guy. Since we last saw each other, I've gotten pretty decent at making mouths. It doesn't take me an hour anymore. Only half. Ha! What a nerd! That's my second attempt at doing his torso. The first one failed big time. Okay, maybe it wasn't that bad, but he seemed to be in a lot of pain. Okay, Ben, I want you to take a deep breath. Damn! What a belly you have, Benny boy. You should do more bridging and less eating, man. I always feel like I'm not placing the arms quite right, and I wonder if it'd be easier to create the endo arms first. But since I can still move the arms after adding the endo, this part of the script ends up being kind of pointless. Still, I just want you to know the kind of stuff that keeps me up at night. Looks good, but let me check from above. Uh-oh. Oh, my apologies, sir. You're about to witness my very first attempt creating organic hands. How exciting! I don't dislike them. I think I deserve a high 5 in the comments. I mean 4. High 4. The endoskeleton is based on the Endo 02 model, which I assume you're already familiar with at this point, so there's no need for me to go into that much detail. I tried to stick as closely to the original design as possible, and for the most part, I think I succeeded. Except for the torso, which didn't turn out exactly the same. But since it's hidden within the suit, I figured it was fine to leave it as is. For the textures, I took a full Scott-style approach, which fits the design perfectly. And with a few tweaks, here's Ben the Beaver as an animatronic. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I hope you like it too, Kaio. My name is Ethan, I'm 11 years old, and I love your videos. Keep up the good work. I hope you can make something good out of this. It's inspired by my nightmare animatronics. Thanks. Thank you for your submission, Ian. Let's jump right into this. Since Lupus is inspired by the Nightmare animatronics, why not turn him into one? I have to forget how helpful it is to sketch a rough idea before diving into modeling. From now on, I'll make sure to do that every time. Mark my words. My plan is to create the mask and muzzle using 2 separate cubes. This way I can make the muzzle in a wolf-like shape without distorting the whole mask. And so far, it looks great. I know Lupus only has 1 ear, but it's like the asymmetry is trying to poke a finger in my eye. So I'll add a second ear for now. Oh god, what kind of crazy lipstick is this? Damn, Lupus is starting to look really good. High 5. Oh, I'm sorry, that was insensitive of me. Look at all of you watching, just amazed at how skilled I am, not knowing that it took me a whole hour just to model the torso. Yeah, not so amazed now, are you, Jimmy? Now, I'm a bit concerned that the leg position might throw off Lupus's proportions. Quick, warn me in the comments. Tell me to make them straight. Warn me about the hands too. Imagine if we could actually do that. We could have avoided so many problems, like me not making his legs crooked. I'm not exactly an expert in organic modeling. I think I made that clear at this point. But I have to say, this head turned out pretty well. I mean, sure, it's really ugly, but it's mine, and I love it dearly. I'll be honest, I had to do a few tweaks off camera, like rigging, refining the textures, and mostly redoing the model's proportions. But in the end, Lupus turned out pretty well. There's always room for improvement, but I'm really proud of how my first Nightmare animatronic came together. I hope you like it too, Ethan, and now let's move on to the final drawing. Hi, I'm Blast. I've loved your content ever since you made your first speed edit video, and hoped to see Vapabiz in all her 4'11" feet tall glory. You rock, Speed. Thank you so much, Blast. Anything for an OG fan. Now let's get to work. Out of all of the drawings today, this one gave me the most trouble. especially the head. For the first attempt, I forgot to hit record. Not that it mattered, I scrapped it anyway, but by the second attempt, let's just say I suddenly wished I had stuck with the first one. Sometimes I think I am too picky, but by the third attempt, I couldn't shake the fear of messing up again. So I decided to start with a sketch, hoping it would make things easier. And luckily, it worked. Just as I was about to start working on her hair, I noticed it was lunchtime. So I took a little break, and while eating, I came across a speed modeling video. And watching how smooth the process was and how polished the final model looked, a thought of starting from scratch crossed my mind. But I loved my model too much to do that. So much so that for her own safety, I started another one. Maybe that's why it takes me 4 months to do an episode. But any guilt I had disappeared the moment I saw how well it had turned out. The rest of the body came together pretty smoothly. Not much to say here, so I'll leave you with a little montage. And after the final few touches, I present to you Weirdos. I have to say, I'm really liking this new toy-style approach with all the plastic details. It adds a nice touch to the model. My name is Caio. I'm 16 years old and I live in Brazil. I always loved the Five Nights at Freddy's series, so making some original animatronics on my own has always been nice. With that said, this one is based on my first ever plushie. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for your submission, Caio. I will do my best. Quick question, is this guy related to Doggo? No, seriously, like, I need proper answers.
Meow!
I don't even know what to say about this shape, but for now, I'll go by Caio's design and see where this goes. Could be great, could be a disaster. We'll find out together. Oh god, he's bald. What have I done? Go back, go back, go back, go back. This smooth tool is incredible. 5 stars, highly recommended. Time to make his eyes. I saw a tutorial on how to make buttons once. Now let's see if I remember. Let's insert the faces first, then extrude along normal, then insert again. Delete the faces, now grid fill. Maybe change the span a bit. Oh, they're not symmetrical. That's upsetting. Maybe a span of 9 will fix it. Yep, that's something else. Wait. What? I haven't saved yet? What do you mean I haven't saved yet? Oh no, I'm such an idiot. Well, glad that Blender didn't crash though. He kinda looks like Bullseye. And just like that, we went from Daredevil to Caroline. So many pop culture references today. Wow. Who's a good boy? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. That's pretty much the head done. But before I tear it apart, I want to make the endo. Yep, that's kind of it. I ran out of ideas. Trust me, partner, I don't want to do this, but it's for a good cause. I'm trying to make a kid happy here. I really like this hand design. Reminds me of those mascots from the Secret of the Mimic trailer. Speaking of which, no videos in June. I'm busy uncovering the secret. Personally, I'd slap some plastic textures on this, but Caio wants those FNAF 1 textures, so we're gonna go with that. And with that, here's Ducko as a Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic. Hope you like it, Caio. My name is Autumn, and I love your videos. Your 3D models are so cool. This is my Five Nights at Freddy's Sona, Harry the Hare. He's an older OC of mine, but I still think he's neat. He is indeed. Big thanks, Autumn. From what I can tell, a glam rock design could be perfect for this one, and we've got plenty to do, so let's dive right in. I tried a few head designs, and the third one really hit the mark. It mixes Autumn's style with that cool glam rock design pretty well. Now I just hope it would turn out good in 3D. So far, he's holding up pretty well. But these glasses, ugh, no matter what I do, they just aren't working. I'm setting them aside for now and moving on to the ears. I haven't seen a Glamrock from the side before, but it definitely shouldn't look this bulky. The scarf shouldn't be that hard to make. I say it looks great. I mean, it looks like something that could be a scarf, which is enough for me. Now on to the arms. I think I nailed those. Oh, he's got 5 fingers. But since Glamrocks are supposed to have 4, I'll just leave it as it is. With the modeling done, it's time to pick out a cool plastic texture. And with that, I present to you Harry the Hare. Hope you like it, Autumn. I even turned him into a true Glamrock animatronic, which I think makes the design even better. I will make sure to send you both versions. And now, onto the final drawing. Hello, my name is Martinni. I live in Brazil, and I love your videos. Can you model this old wolf for my game? If not, it's okay. Thank you, Martinni. Wow, there's a lot of talented people out there in Brazil, but no more talented than me. Let's dive into it. This guy gives me the creeps, and I love it. I can already tell he's going to look amazing. I know the proportions aren't exactly how they're supposed to be, but if I match the drawing, the jaw is just gonna be too big. You know what? I'm gonna tweak his mouth a little bit. Yeah, much better now. I was worried the position would mess up the teeth, but it's all good. Time for the ears. Yeah, I can't match the reference exactly. Gotta smooth it out a bit. Let's see if that works. Oh, it did! The jumpsuit should be easy. I just need to duplicate the torso and shape it. Ooh, he looks so elegant. Can't forget the pocket. I was thinking of taking the easy way out and making the arms simple, but that wouldn't feel right. They add too much to his character. Yeah, glad I actually made a good decision for once. He looks awesome. Just gotta add a few final touches, and then I can start texturing. Not gonna lie, this might be my favorite model I've made so far, but I can't take all the credit. Martin's drawing did most of the work.
Hello, my name is Hador and I made a drawing of a character in paint. Short and sweet. Thank you for your submission, and let's jump right in. I've had this little guy on my list for a while now. I just love his simple design. Honestly, I kept him on the shelf for at least 2 episodes because part of me was like, this isn't FNAF related at all. The nerds will start a war in the comments if this guy shows up in one of my videos. But a while back, I stumbled across him again, and let's just say, I have no idea what kind of drugs I was on that day. You can't get more FNAF than this. An almost bare endoskeleton with a mask? That's basically the trend this season. The jaw was a bit tricky. I struggled to keep the original design and make it movable. I tried a few things, but nothing worked quite like I imagined. In the end, I stuck to the drawing and left him wordless. Then I added the teeth, the sticky note, and moved on to the torso. The torso itself is as simple as possible. The most interesting part here was adding the withering. Same goes for the endoskeleton. So let's just enjoy the process.
I usually tend to skip the part where I texture the models. 1, because it's kind of boring, and 2, because I have little to no knowledge about it. Most of the textures I use come from Blender Kit, and if I want something closer to Scott's style, I hunt down public packs on DeviantArt. I know a lot of you ask about my textures, so here you go. I'll leave a link to Blender Kit in the description, along with some of my favorite packs. And please always make sure to credit the creators if you plan to use their textures. And with that, here's the final look of RoboCop? I don't know, Hater didn't give me a name. Hello, my name is RoboRed. I'm 14 years old, I'm a small FNAF artist from Russia living on Game Jolts. Sometimes I make edits. I will be happy with any result. Oh, you'll be happy, RoboRed. Trust me. As usual, we started with the head and worked our way down through the rest of the body. The shape came out pretty well for a first try. The muzzle was a bit blocky at first, but luckily I fixed that pretty quickly. God bless the smooth tool. Ugh. He looks pretty grumpy from the side, a bit chubby from the front. Only possible in a Weirdos speed video. I don't know about you, but I usually measure my skill progress by how I model mouths. After almost a year and a half, I'm finally able to get some good looking ones. So don't worry if your mouths, heads, or limbs look weird at first. Just keep at it and you'll see improvement before you know it. The trick is consistency. Am I the only one who gets anxious working with this many faces? I can't be, right? Also, I'm not super confident about my withering technique. My heart tells me I might not be doing it quite right, but hey, what do I know? After all, I'm an animatronic. I don't have a heart. Huge shout out to RoboRed for the awesome endo design, and thank you so much for sending the right proportions. You're a real one. I almost feel guilty for wanting to steal it, but not quite enough to actually stop myself from doing it. It's been on my bucket list to make a Springtrap inspired animatronic for a while, so it feels great to finally have the chance. Hope you like it, RoboRed. Hello, I'm Squiddy Man, and I've been a FNAF fan since the beginning of the series. This character, Carl the Cat, is probably my oldest OC that I still use to this day. I originally made him around the time of FNAF 2 and 3. I'm also a big fan of your content since your old speed edits. Stay cool. Copy that. Thank you for your submission, Squiddy Man. Let me see what I can do. At first glance, the design looks like a mix between the classics and the rat from Candies. I went back and forth between making it fully classic or fully rat inspired, but in the end, I decided to stay true to the drawing's design. Now this part right here, I absolutely hate doing it. I never know how to make it look good without messing up the shape of the head. I tried adding the pieces separately, and while they turned out great on their own, I didn't like how they overlapped with the head.
And as he finished writing the sentence, our dumbass hero had a brilliant idea.
I think I figured out how to fix the overlap, but you'll have to wait until the end to see it. This model forces me to use texture paints because of all the little details, but what it doesn't know is I have no clue how to texture paint. The face was easy, I just slapped a bunch of spheres on it, but the ears and limbs, yeah, I'm still clueless. I really don't want to lose those details though. Do you remember Harry from the last episode? I stole his scarf and his hands. Sorry, Harry. Most of the time, if not always, I avoid making detailed endoskeletons when you're not even going to see them. It just saves time. But this time, I got carried away. I still have that great design on my mind. And there you have it, Carl the Cat in all his glory. Super glad I managed to fix the head. It looks so much better now. Hope you like it too, Squiddy Man. Hi, I'm Joffrey and I'm 5 years old. I like making up strange characters and drawing them with all the colors I can find. Bayme the Bommy... What? Bayme the Bommy is an animatronic bunny I imagined. He's got an extra head and loves to sneak around when people aren't looking. I love your videos and can't wait to see your magic work on my drawing. Thank you so much, Joffrey. I'll do my best. I won't lie, I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. You know those optical illusion tests psychologists use? Where they show you some weird image and ask, what do you see? Yeah, this feels like one of those.
Tell me what you see here.
A butterfly.
Alright, what about this one?
A tree?
A tree. Really interesting. This one?
Mom? So after a quick email, I know exactly what everything is supposed to be, so let's jump right in. There you have it, Joffrey. Bay me the bommy in the flesh. My name is Nicholas. I'm a 16-year-old and this is my first FNAF OC. I don't have a name for it yet, but I tried to make it dirty and have stains on it. The hands are from the FNAF 2 Endo. I've been watching you for some time now and really like your videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you for your submission, Nicholas. Alright guys, before we dive into modeling, we've got an important mission. We need a name for our guy. Drop your suggestions down in the comments, and the most liked one will win. Until then, we'll call him Gary. Normally, I wouldn't start with the endo, but this time I want to nail the proportions right from the start. Since the one in the drawing looks pretty similar to Endo 01, that's what I'll use as a base. I also started experimenting with a new add-on for time lapses. Still figuring it out, so some of the footage might look a little bit weird. Hopefully the next set of drawings will give me better shots to work with. With the endo done, it's time to move on to the suit. I sketched out a quick design to help me visualize the model, and honestly, it got me really excited for how the final version will look. The head should be pretty straightforward, even though the drawing doesn't have many details. I'm pretty sure Nicholas was aiming for Withered Bonnie's design, so that's what I'll go with. Since I already modeled the jaw, might as well reuse it. And if it worked for the jaw, why not for the body too? Where some people see laziness, I see time management. Work smart, kids. This is why I usually don't start with the endo. The suit proportions end up looking off. After a few adjustments though, I managed to fix it up and began adding the withering, along with some extra details for effect. I could have used the reference, but I wanted to see what I could pull off from memory. Honestly, it turned out good enough. Maybe I'll just scale a few parts bigger. Once the hand was finished, an Endo 02 hand just like Nicholas requested, the model was officially complete. Don't forget, we still need a name for this guy, so leave your best suggestions in the comments. My name is Jackson and I'm 14. I first made this character, named Scandal Bear. I think back in 2019, but when COVID hit, I disregarded it. When I first started getting back into FNAF about a year ago, I stumbled upon your speed edit videos and loved them. So when I remembered my character and saw you were doing this, I redrew him and thought you could do him justice. His main fur color is yellow. I don't know why it looks brown. Thank you for your submission, Jackson. Let me see what I can do. So here we've got the original drawing for color reference, along with a sketch I made for
Symmetry, my friend!
Once I matched the shape to the drawing, I checked out how it looked from the side. That's important for aesthetics, but it's not a hard rule. Sometimes for the face to look good from the front, the side has to suffer a little. Just hide that angle from the camera and you're golden. After cutting out the eye holes and building the muzzle, which I like to keep as a separate mesh for more control, especially with head designs similar to the toy Animatronics, I added the nose and mouth. Then I blocked in some base colors as solid fills. They're only visible in the viewport, but they'll help later when I start working on the final textures. From here, all that is left is the ears and smaller details. The head came out really well. I'm still not totally sold on the yellow, but maybe once the final textures are in, it'll tie together. Next up, the body. Now, I've never been a big fan of the animatronic vests, especially on Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, but I've gotta admit, in some cases, they actually look good. I'm looking at you, buddy. Also, for some reason, I just feel like he needs a tail. Don't ask why, he just does. And of course, let's not forget his creamy friend. I'll take that, thank you very much. And here we have Scandal Bear. Hope you like how it turned out, Jackson. Funny enough, pronounced like that, scandal in Romanian actually means quarrel. So before he decides to throw that pie in my face, let's move on to the next drawing. Hi, my name is Tucker. I saw your videos on my recommended page. I watched them and I thought they were really interesting, so I'm sending my model Liz the Lizard. Hope you enjoy making it. Thank you so much, Tucker. I'll sure do. Wait, why do the faces look so weird? There are some double faces around the mesh for some reason. Even after deleting them, it's still off. Okay, let's try a new mesh, I guess. How do I make it so the jaw doesn't clip through the neck? Let me try something. But first, let's copy the jaw, just in case I mess it up. I like it better this way. Hey buddy, want a glass of water? Don't mind me, I'm just shopping. I'm still figuring out the time lapse, so I hope the microwaved lizard isn't too distracting. Here's the part where I added the endo, the same one Greg used. Looking back, it's not the clearest way to show the process since you can barely see what I'm doing. But hey, that doesn't matter, because here's Liz the Lizard finished. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of that Willy's Wonderland movie. Except that the other was a weasel, but the overall look is pretty much the same. Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm a huge FNAF fan. I've created many original characters, but I've never been able to model them, so they've never gone beyond 2D. It would be wonderful to see one of them properly modeled in 3D. I love your videos, and I hope this polar bear can appear in one. Thank you for your submission, Chris. Now let's see how this guy turns out in 3D. As always, I'm starting with the head, and once I get it shaped closer to the reference, I make sure to adjust it from all angles, especially the back, where I like adding a little bump. After that, I add the eye sockets, and only now do I realize he looks a bit sad, like all of you who don't get to be in a video. But don't lose hope, you'll be chosen one day. Only if I can get through all 5,000 submissions. Good God. With the muzzle done, I begin adding the nose, the upper teeth, and honestly, the greatest ears I've ever made. Let me just rename those so I can steal them later. Is it really stealing if you're stealing from yourself? Of course not. It's called time management. Work smart, kids. Next up is the jaw, but not before adding some color. The scene is already sad enough. Even with 1,000 hours in Blender, I'm still terrible at making a good-looking jaw. No, wait. I may be underestimating myself. Let me just... Then I tried searching for a Christmas ad so I wouldn't have to model one myself. Oh, how hopeful I was. Just like you sending drawings. I'll take care of the hat later. Right now, it's time for the body. What a diva. After the torso was done, I began working on his limbs so I could start the withering process. I was supposed to make those out of a cube since it's a better choice if you want to create withering on your model, but I forgot about that part and used a cylinder instead. However, it created a decent outcome, so I kept it. Once that part was over, I used an already made endoskeleton to fill in the gaps, which took a bit to adjust because it was made for a completely different size. All that was left was adding his hands, a few wires, and of course the hat, which I made myself in the first place, but ended up replacing with one from Blender Kit. I really like how the model ended up. It even started snowing while I was recording this one, and having my setup by the window made the whole process a really nice memory. I hope you like it too, Chris. The next drawing comes from Danny. Hi, Weirdos, and also the voiceover guy. Thank you. I'm Brazilian and a fan of yours for a while now, and I cooked up a Santa animatronic for the next Christmas-themed video. It's pretty obviously based on Dolly, Big Top, and Jackie, since it's supposed to be made by Murray's Costume Manor. I really liked this concept, and I hope you like it as much as I do. I love this one, Danny. You nailed the MCM style perfectly. Wish me luck. The only thing that worried me about this model was the endoskeleton, or more specifically the tubes connecting his limbs. But since that's mostly a rigging problem, and I'll deal with the rig at the end, I decided it was better to just focus on finishing the body for now. Knowing the head would take a bit of time, I started to work on his face, which turned out pretty good for a first try. Then I added the nose, followed by the jaw, which, after some tweaking, ended up pretty good and close enough to Dolly's. And at this point, I think you know what that means. After a mustache and a bit of color, it was time to work on Santa's beard. That one took a bit of trial and error before I got something I liked. Even then, I wasn't completely satisfied, but it was the best I could do for now. Working on the hair was easier since I made it using curves, which, unlike humans, are much easier to manipulate. But more importantly, you can scale the vertices and create that specific hair shape. And for everyone wanting to try this technique but wondering why pressing S doesn't do anything and ends up using some unnecessarily complicated method like I did, it's Alt plus S. That's it. Just press Alt plus S and scale it. It's alright. You don't have to thank me. You can just send $100 with your next drawing. Once I mastered that, I tried using curves to make his beard, thinking it would look better, but he started looking like Colonel Sanders. And in a world where MCM invented recycling, the last thing we need is for them to invent Kentucky Fried Chicken as well. With the head done, I moved on to the hat, which, surprise surprise, I also struggled with. That's what I get for trying to make a Christmas themed episode. But it's fine, Blender Kid never says no. Now that the body is pretty much done, it was time to work on those tubes. I tried watching a few tutorials, but to be honest with you, I didn't have the patience to follow every step. So instead, I tried looking at Dolly herself to see what her rig looked like. Eventually, I ended up adding a bunch of bones in that area and using automatic weights. It's obviously not perfect, but for a lazy guy like me, it's a true piece of art. And there you have Santa Claus himself, if he was created by MCM. Danny also requested the model to be optimized for his phone, to which I say, good one, Danny. Merry Christmas. The next drawing comes from Jack. Hi, I'm Jack. I'm a 10-year-old FNAF artist from England, and this is my drawing. He doesn't have a name yet. Love your videos. Bye. Well, you know the rules, guys. Let's give this guy a name in the comments section, and the most liked one wins. But until then, let's get to work. For a drawing like this, I'd normally make a more symmetrical sketch, but sometimes it's good to challenge your imagination and build it from scratch. And if it doesn't turn out great, at least I made a rhyme. After taking a second look at Jack's drawing, it seems like his head has a design similar to Spring Bonnie, so that's what I tried to go for. Then I added that single ear and moved on to the body. For his limbs, I borrowed some from another model and adjusted the size and color. Once that was ready, I made his glasses and gave him an endoskeleton, the same one as earlier, for convenience, and finished things off by destroying his good leg. Merry Christmas, buddy. A bit of a short one, but when you do a lot of them, it's pretty easy to run out of things to say. However, I hope you like it, Jack. And the last drawing of the episode comes from Jamie. Hi, I'm Jamie, and this is Toy Crimson the Triceratops. He's inspired by my OC, Crimson the Triceratops. I've always loved Christmas and what it truly means, and the Triceratops is my favorite dinosaur, so it only made sense to combine the two. It's been a while since I did something in Scott's style, so your drawing is more than welcome. Thank you, Jamie. Let's start this one a bit differently and work on the torso first, even though I'm pretty sure I already have this type of body made. I wanted to make it again. Alright, that's enough DIY for today. Just let me borrow those shorts. After adding the candy buttons, I moved on to his arms. Normally, I would delete the edges of the cylinder before adding subdivisions, but this time I left them and added 2 loop cuts near the edges. I think that's a better way to make toy model arms. Then I finished those by adding the hands from my FNAF Evolution models, because every good artist struggles with those. And because I mentioned that game, I know there will be people asking about it, and the short answer is, the game is paused for now. I was busy working on other projects, and on top of that, I lost motivation. However, it doesn't mean that the game is cancelled. I just had other priorities. Oh, would you look at that? The legs are ready too. Now that the body is done, it's time to work on the head, but not before adding a few endo parts. The mask was easy to make, but I can't say the same about the beak. Without a side reference, I wasn't sure how it should look, so I hopped on Google and looked up real Triceratops. Once that problem was solved, I added the horns and the crest, which has these cute colorful lights to match the Christmas theme. And I forgot one of the horns. I don't know how. I'd been staring at it the whole time. The model turned out great in the end, and I even made sure to add those classic Scott textures. I hope you like how Crimson turned out, Jamie. I'll send you the model ASAP. Since this series is the most popular one on the channel, I want to make sure I do more of it next year, and I need your help to make it possible for more of you to get picked, or at least not wait for months. Some of my ideas are to start doing shorts while keeping the original format as the main videos, and to announce every time I start working on the next episode as a 24-hour post on my community tab. That way, everyone who's fast enough has a better chance of being featured, instead of waiting for months. Of course, there will be a different email address to send those, and make sure to subscribe so you'll be notified when I make those announcements. Let me know what you guys think of these ideas, and if you have any other suggestions, I'd be more than happy to hear them. That's it for this year. Thank you so much for all of your support, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye everyone, take care, and Merry Christmas!